Welcome to North Metro TV News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rusty Ray. Danica Peterson is off today. First up, the decision that could shape the lives of nearly every family and many businesses is here. School districts now know how they'll be able to operate starting in September. Mike Johnson starts out our coverage today. Mike?
Rusty, the governor called it a start to the new school year like none other. Each local school district will make individual decisions based on the amount of COVID-19 activity in the surrounding county. And for much of the summer, school districts have been working on three scenarios: in-person classes, distance learning, or a hybrid combination of the two. Governor Walz says not all schools look the same and not all parts of the state look the same when it comes to COVID. So districts will make decisions locally based on the virus data and the district's ability to meet mitigation requirements like spacing. Anoka-Hennepin Superintendent David Laws says some of it the district had planned for, but there is still a lot to digest in 111 pages of information from the state. He said the first step is communicating to parents.
You know, parents, the governor shared that you have the option to do distance-only learning if that's your preference. We'll be asking which parents those are. For the rest of them, we've got a lot of questions about: do you need transportation? Are you comfortable being in person in our building if it's at full capacity or half capacity? And do you need child care? Technology needs. We'll be gathering that information and pulling that together. And then we start matching up all the staffing with the student needs. And there's a decision point later in August where we look at our county's data and say, okay, based on this data, what can we do on the first day of school? And then we'll share that out with our parents.
Since Anoka-Hennepin schools cross into Hennepin County, Law says the district will probably consider those separately. So Anoka County school openings would be based on COVID cases in Anoka County, not Hennepin. And Law says he knows it's frustrating for parents who were expecting a more definitive answer from the governor.
Our parents were under the impression when the governor made a decision, they know what was going to happen the first day of school. And now what that decision is a rolling decision based on county data that we won't be able to really pinpoint for a few weeks. And so I know parents will be frustrated saying, what's really going to happen? And what's really going to happen is we're going to be responsive to the level of concern with the disease in our community and offer school according to that data.
Centennial Schools reached out to parents with this message, saying Superintendent Brian Dietz and his staff are busy reviewing the state guidelines and local data to make decisions, and, quote, "We recognize the stress on our families who are experiencing uncertainty about returning to school in September, combined with the closure of our buildings in the spring. They said these are unprecedented times and we appreciate your support of learning, your partnership, and your patience," unquote. The plan schools start with in September may not be the plan they keep all year. State officials will work with district and health professionals to decide if they need to make changes depending on the progression of the virus. And even if your local school decides to hold in-person classes or a hybrid arrangement, the governor says families will have the option to choose distance learning if they have concerns about health and safety. Rusty?
And we'll hope to hear from Spring Lake Park school leaders next week about plans for that school district.